What's up, you guys? Back with another quick video for you guys. I'm actually working on our vehicle here. This is my wife's car, and just fixing some rust spots, and just want to kind of do just a quick guide on what I like to do in preparation for winter again. We're here in beautiful Michigan, and we deal with a lot of salt and corrosion on our vehicles. So I typically like to just do some cleanup, usually before winter time, and this kind of just came about actually over this last winter. And we have like 65-70 degree weather right now, and it's November, so I'm tackling it now. Had 100 other projects on the house, and this is what I had available to do this weekend. So I'll be talking through a couple different tools that I'll use, and then just some of the tips and tricks I like to use to get a nice clean look. Right now I'm going to start out with a Dremel, and I just have a Dremel 4000 just to kind of get into this little area here. Makes it the easiest for me. This brush here is just a wire wheel brush, and it kind of comes to a point, which makes it a little bit easier for me to get in that area there. Eventually I will go back through and touch all of this up. Here you can just see it flaking off, so I'll actually take my grinding wheel and larger cup brush on the grinding wheel. I'll show you that later, but I'll just show you real quick just kind of how to get started here. Oh yeah, don't forget the glasses. I can already feel it coming up. So what you want to do, I failed to explain, you'll want to tape this off. Tape the windows off. Tape, you can see I put a little over the plastic of the taillight, just so you don't nick that area with your brush. But what I'll do is actually take this right down to the bare metal, and then I will actually go back through and do a rust prohibitor, and just to, you know, kind of get rid of anything. Rust is like cancer for vehicles. They just keep coming back more and more and more, and if you don't get rid of it completely, it will return. So get rid of it completely, take it down to the bare metal. We'll put a rust preventative or inhibitor on here, and as soon as we're done with that, we'll do a primer, and after that we'll do a matching paint, and I can show you guys how to match your paint for each vehicle, and then we'll sand in between coats and get it looking really fine, and then I usually like to do a clear coat finish. Just to bounce forward a little bit for you there, but we'll go through all those steps a little bit here and there. Just want to do kind of a quick video for you guys, so thanks for hanging out with me. So now it's time to break out the angle grinder with just a cup brush wheel here. This will make it really easy for just the bottom area here. Like I said before, you want to take it down to the bare metal. That's honestly the only way to get rid of that cancer rust, like I said before. So just show you a little bit here. Another thing that you're going to want to do is actually make sure that you kind of feather it out a little bit. You don't want to see a line where there's a divot. So what I'm actually going to do is I'll hit it as good as I can where you can see that paint kind of bubbling up and where that rust is really showing the most here. but then I'll go back through with just a light sanding pad, or honestly I just use a Dewalt sander or a multi-tool, and I'll go back and just lightly sand that with a really fine grit sandpaper and kind of smooth things over. So just what I like to do, process of elimination, get rid of that rust. Alright, you guys, I am to the part now where I have everything taped off and ready for paint, primer, all that jazz. So I'll show you some of the products that I like to use. I actually just went to O'Reilly Auto Parts, or you can go to AutoZone, anything like that, or your local auto shop, and pick up any of this Perfect Match, Dupli-Color, that sort of stuff. So what I did actually, so I got everything taped off, everything sanded down right to the bare surface. So all the rust is gone. You can see here everything's shiny metal. So get rid of the rust, and then what I'm going to do is actually put some primer. This has Sandable primer, mainly because I sanded this as good as I could, but you're still going to see a little bit of a divot just from where you sanded down that top coat. So we'll do some of this, we'll sand in between coats, and then actually you'll want to, after sanding, just a little bit of rubbing alcohol just to clean it up. Just some paper towel will do. And then I matched the paint. This specific vehicle is a 2012 Equinox, and the paint match is actually Olympic White. And where to find that, the code for your paint code or your paint match is actually in the glove box, and it'll actually be well, let's take a look real quick. I'll show you guys here. So right in here there is a sticker, and you can see, sorry, that BC CC U8624. The number that you really need is just that 8624. And then what I did actually, I then just matched that up on Google. I Googled it real quick while I was there at the store, and I actually asked O'Reilly, and they couldn't find a match. Sometimes some of the paint is just a different number or different code, and it gets changed. But you can see here 8624. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. And I knew that that was an exact match. So I know that it's going to blend in with the rest of my paint. But after I'm done with that, I actually met a gentleman while I was there at the store, and I've always used a buffing compound, that sort of thing, after I'm done with painting. However, a gentleman that was in the aisle asked what I was doing, asked what I was painting, and he said that he had really good luck with this product. It's just an acrylic lacquer, and that gives it that nice sheen. So we'll see how that turns out. Until then, I'm gonna get everything painted up, and we'll check back and see the final coat and the final finish. What's up, you guys? Just back with another update here. on the repair project here on this vehicle, Chevy Equinox. And actually, after I did some of the sanding and then priming, I was hoping to get some of those little bumps out and imperfections that I got up in here after I removed all that rust. Unfortunately, after priming it, a lot of the imperfections actually kind of stood out, and I could see little divots and pinholes and bumps. So I actually just went to my local automotive store here in town and picked up some Bondo glazing spot putty. I used this mainly because I didn't have big areas. If I had a larger area, you know, on the side of a door or something in a bigger panel, I would then use Bondo, obviously a bigger body filler. But for this application, just something real thin, this stuff worked really well. It sets up in about 20 to 25 minutes. And after I sanded everything down, I kind of took a look at it. And if you needed to do another coat, you could. But actually, I just took a 400 grit sandpaper and just lightly sanded here and just got that back to a smooth finish. And everything's looking good. I'm actually going to take my air compressor, wipe, you know, get all that dust out of here and wipe it down. I usually just use rubbing alcohol just to wipe everything clean and get everything ready and prepped for paint again. So really, just use this glazing putty. It's awesome. This one actually is not the Pro line or Pro bottle container. There's a professional grade that has a hardener that comes with it. However, this stuff, it's all ready to go. Just open the tube up, put a little bit on there, and I actually just used, I'll grab it real quick. One of these guys, just a yellow little, I guess you'd call it like a spackle tool. I'm used to drywall terms, but just use one of these, a paper plate or a piece of cardboard, just a little tiny dot because it dries so fast. But just took some of that, lightly wipe it along here, and you really have to move pretty quick with it because it dries so fast. And it's still 70 degrees out here in Michigan, and it's November. So just wanted to give you guys a quick tip on that. This stuff's awesome, really did the trick. Got it to a nice smooth finish, and now I'm ready for another coat of primer. Oh, one more thing. You can lay this over etching primer or any type of primer, and it worked awesome. I just sanded it a little bit with 180 grit first before I applied this. So you want to give it some teeth, something to bite into, and it did just that. And now I'm ready for another coat of primer, and then I'm ready for my top coat paint. And once I'm done with that, we'll make sure everything looks, you know, perfect, and then I'll go over with just a lacquer finish, clear coat, to just seal the deal. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Thank you guys for hanging out. All right, so we're ready for our top coat now, and before you get ready to spray your top coat on, you actually want to take some of your, you know, your masking tape off and sometimes start new. However, I didn't do a whole lot on this one, on this project, so not many layers. It didn't need much. So I actually am going to continue to use that same tape line and just make sure that all the plastic, you know, obviously taillights and anything that's not your normal paint color is not exposed. But the main reason that you want to do this is so that you don't get any harsh lines. So what you'll actually do after you primed it, you'll take that line down and you'll just kind of lightly sand. And I'm using just a 400 grit sandpaper. You can pick this up at automotive store, hardware store, that sort of thing. And the reason why you want to do that, I'll bring the camera just a little bit closer. You don't want to end up with harsh lines. You will see this in your final coat. And if you don't get that out of there, and if you just put your top coat over your line that you had already set up with your masking lines, that will be in your top coat paint. And you don't want that. You want to get rid of those lines. I didn't show it in the other videos, but we're doing just some touch up around the wheel well. And here a lot of water hits on those spots there and what on the other side. So again, I just am moving these masking lines and just doing a light sanding here just to get rid of that harsh line. Alright guys, I just want to finish up this video. Now that I have all the top coat completely done, everything's looking, back to normal. No more rust, everything's cleaned up. I want to finish up actually with this product here. Is a lacquer, an acrylic lacquer, and it acts as a clear coat just to get that shine. I've tried a bunch of different products and I've never found something that works this great. It actually gives that really crystal clear shine that you're looking for in a clear coat. I've tried a couple different Dupli-Colors, and actually the Perfect Match brand makes a small can like this. Don't get that one. Don't get the clear cut. Go with this, the acrylic lacquer. It's awesome. I actually ran into a gentleman that was in the same aisle as me in the automotive section, and he recommended this, and I'm glad that I ran into him because I'll show you here how crystal clear it really is. It gives it a really nice shine. So I did 2 light coats over everything, and then it actually recommends to follow up with a really heavy third coat. And when I went over that with that heavy third coat, it really gave it that nice shine. And again, I took some of the plastic again, because you want to feather everything. It's really good to feather paint, feather primer, all that sort of stuff. So again, with the clear coat, you want to feather it. So I actually pulled some of this plastic down just a little bit more. Obviously, you don't want to uncover the license plate and all that sort of stuff, but you can get the picture here that it gives a nice clean shine. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me during this project, and I had a blast kind of showing you guys some of the process here to get rid of the rust on your vehicle. Hopefully this helped you guys out. I'm actually on to my next vehicle here. You can see this had some little bit of rust here, and I just want to touch that up just a little bit. So thank you guys again. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and make sure you guys subscribe because I would love to keep showing you guys new DIY tricks with me, Dell. Thank you guys so much.